Hi, it's Glenn again, and I'm here to explain about the Spinach lab report and what I would like for you to do on it. I have uploaded a PDF for you, which is the Spinach lab report, and here I say exactly what I want you to do on it. In the abstract, please say what you did and name the techniques that you used. For example, you can name the technique extraction. You could name the technique thin layer chromatography. Report the number of different spots that came out on one of your TLC spots. Here's what I mean by that. You have the TLC plate and you made some spots. Blip, blip, blip. One of these spots may have created more other spots than others. For example, this spot made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. So you should say that you got 5. The maximum number of spots that you got was 5, and then you should report the RF for each of those spots. Just list them, you know what I'm saying? So in the introduction, just say, I have 5 spots and their RFs are blah, 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 blah. Remember that RF is a ratio of distance to distance, so there should be no units for RF. In the introduction, please say that you're trying to extract pigments, and then please say whether those pigments are nonpolar or polar. You can figure that out by examining the procedures in your memory, in your imagination, or on the actual document. Please say whether the TLC stationary phase was polar or nonpolar by consulting the TLC video that I have posted. Please say whether the TLC mobile phase is polar or nonpolar. And then please predict which would travel farther up the TLC plate, polar molecules or nonpolar molecules, and give a reason why. Explain exactly what happens. And then please predict which would travel farther up the TLC plate, the large molecules or the small molecules. Assume that we're talking about both nonpolar molecules, large nonpolar molecules or small nonpolar molecules, which would travel farther up the TLC plate. And then why? Please explain why. And then in the procedures, please, of course, write the procedures in your own words. You could use pictures if you like. If pictures will allow you to use fewer words. But in addition to that, please also make sure that you include the answers to these questions. What solvents are you using for polar things? What solvents are you using for nonpolar things? So, for example, in your procedures, when you discuss the petroleum ether and the methanol that you'll use on the spinach, please mention what they are for. For example, we use petroleum ether to capture the nonpolar items, or we use petroleum ether to capture the polar impurities. So please do it that way so that I know that you know what each solvent is for. And then please answer the question somewhere in there why you need to open the separatory funnel after shaking. You know, you shake it a little bit, and then you vent it, and then you shake it again, and then you vent it. I want to know that you know why you do that. So when you say in your procedures that you have to vent the separatory funnel every time you shake it, please tell me why you have to do that. Now, I think I mentioned in one of the videos that I've posted here that I made a mistake by asking you to shake your water washes very vigorously. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was due to my own ignorance. And I want you to say in your procedures what happens if you shake too vigorously. What happens? What do you form? And then why would that be undesirable? You're going to have to watch the extraction video, which I posted, and you're going to have to also think about that in order to answer in order to know why that would be undesirable. Okay, now data and results. Just the same as the in introduction. Please report your the number of spots that you had, and then report the RF values. However, in the data and results, don't just use one of the TLC spots, but please discuss all of your TLC spots. If possible, please post a picture. It doesn't have to be a photograph of the TLC spots. If you draw in, I think on this day I had you draw in with pencil the solvent front, and I had you outline with pencil each of the TLC spots that you made. So your photograph can have pencil lines shown on the TLC plate. So please include a photo of each TLC plate that you ran. Let me add that. Okay. Okay, and then please answer the question, are your spots visible under normal light or only under the UV lamp? Okay, now in the video, one of the 3 videos that I've posted shows me doing an imaginary calculation of the concentration of the bad stuff, the polar stuff, in the organic phase inside your separatory funnel. So I've got the organic phase, and then you add 25 milliliters of water. We wash that out, and I show in the imaginary calculation how much of the impurities are still left in the organic phase. How much of those polar things are still left there, even after the water wash. Okay, so I want you to take my answer. I don't want you to necessarily show me the exact same thing, but I want you to take my answer from there. X equals some milligrams, some imaginary milligrams of impurities. I want you to take that X and then reduce it by doing the calculation again, but on that X. I started with 10 milligrams of imaginary impurities. Instead of 10 milligrams, I want you to start with the X. All right? So then you do another 25 milliliter wash, and then you'll come up with another X, a smaller X, of course. And then I want you to do another imaginary calculation by starting over. Instead of having 25 milliliter washes done twice, I want you to start with 10 milligrams of imaginary impurities and then wash it just once with 50 milliliters of water. And I want you to see that the X that you get there after that 50 milliliter wash is different from the X that you would get after 2 25 milliliter washes. So please show those 2 calculations. Please email me if you have questions about that, or if you don't understand what I want you to do. In the discussion and the conclusions, please compare those 2 X's that you get from the sample calculations and say what's better to do, 1 50 milliliter wash or 2 25 milliliter washes, if you're trying to remove organic polar impurities from the organic phase, or the organic layer. And then please tell me if you observed the light green layer between your aqueous and organic phases inside the separatory funnel. So some people, because I told them, out of my ignorance, to shake very hard the separatory funnel for the water washes, some people had the organic phase, the aqueous phase, but in between they had this light green emulsion layer. What did you do with that? Did you discard that, or did you keep that? If you discarded it, what does that do to your results? What does that do to the number of spots that you get? What does that do? Does it do anything to the RF values of the spots? And if you kept that, does that do something to the number of spots that you got? Does that do anything to the RF value of the spots? And then finally, whether you discarded that emulsion if you had it, or kept the emulsion if you had it, does that give you a higher yield from the extraction? Like, does that give you more organic liquid, or does that give you less organic liquid? That one's kind of obvious, right? Now, next question is, what did you... I already asked you that, sorry. And then next question is, why were some TLC spots only visible under the UV lamp? Some people came up to me with their TLC plate and said, oh, I got nothing. And then we applied the UV lamp very closely, and we saw they had a lot of spots. So why is that? And some of the spots showed up with a strange color under that UV lamp. So why is that? Just to give you a hint, you should probably Google fluorescence and plant pigments, and then you can figure out a reason based on what you read on the internet about that. And there will be there is no need to have a references section for this one, because I assume that you are using the document and the videos that I have posted on the Moodle. However, if you use something else, for example, if you use some website for this question in order to learn more about fluorescence on your own, then please include the URL for the references section. You can also use your textbook, your online textbook, if you want. And if you do that, all you have to just say is, all you have to say is just, I used my online textbook. That's enough right there. Right there is enough. You don't have to give me the author, the title, and that kind of thing. Okay? And if you, of course, if you use some other book, then please do give me the author, the title, the page number that you used, and publisher and the year. And that's it for the Spinach Lab Report. Thank you.